Today is Monday, October 21st, Neighborhood Restoration Beautification Commission. We'll start with call to order.
Lucas Richardson.
Here.
Jermaine Sullivan.
Here.
Kathleen Grabowski.
Here.
Sarah Harless. Absent. Jess Stallings. Absent. Mary Kay Wilcox.
Here.
Kayla Willem.
Here.
Okay, approval of the meeting minutes from September 9th and October 7th meetings.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 9th and October 7th meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
I wasn't here, so.
I'll second.
All in favor, voice vote?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? All right, and then we'll move on to the meeting purpose of today. The purpose of this special meeting is to assist with the Chill Grant application review. Teresa and Tracy are here. Do you want to maybe just give an overview of the reason why we need to do this just one more time, just to...
So hello, my name is Teresa Waldo, Community Development Director of Planning and Zoning for the City of Manistee. As you know, we accepted applications. Now it's been about a week and a half ago that we accepted the applications finally for the Chill Grant. The Chill Grant is a grant that we received many months ago. Finally, we were able to get through the state. They approved our application process, so we were able to get that out to the public. And again, it's to restore homes that are possibly blighted or need some fixing. And so the people have to have certain questions answered to qualify for the grant. Tracy and I are looking through those applications. We have access to all of the information from those individuals. But then for somebody in a group to double check our numbers, our math, our documents, all of that process, we have asked the NRBC to facilitate that, to review that. We've also redacted all of the information as considering their name, their address, their social security number, their dependents, all of that type of information. So the information you're going to be receiving today is the entire packet. And again, this is just the pre-screening. It's kind of one of the first steps that we're going through to have you review all of this. Today we have 12 applicants, the first 12 for you to all review. So what our plan is to have everyone start with a packet. Once you're done reviewing that packet, you're going to pass it to the right, and you're going to look at the next packet. You have a piece of paper in front of you that has a front and a back. So let's go over that. It says the qualifications for pre-screening. That's the first page, the front page here.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is must reside in the city of Manistee. If you're going to look at the address, if it's not blacked out, Tracy and I have kind of already assumed or know that they're in the city. But there might be a few of them then in there that we did not redact the address, because you will find that they still turned in their application. They were still told that they don't live in the city, but they still filled it out, so we still have to consider it. So those that you will see, you'll be able to see the address to those. Does the homeowner live on the property? That's one of the questions, and it's highlighted in yellow. Are you purchasing the property on a land contract? That should be no. Has the homeowner owned or occupied the home for the last 1 year? You're gonna check that, yes or no. Is the home at least 5 years old? And the income qualification for the grant should be 80%, or right down below it, it's gonna be 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, and all of that will be highlighted in the packet. And again, I know this seems like a lot, and it's a lot to kind of swallow right now, but we will walk you through this, and it is not as crazy as you think it is by looking at this. The next is, did they supply some information about property tax? We want you to look and see if their property tax information is in there. And did they supply information on homeowners insurance? Because that's also a requirement. The property taxes, I have already gone downstairs to double check with Ed and Kaylee to make sure that the property taxes are current. The other next step is to see if they have any back taxes, and I've got an email to the county to review that portion. Then at the bottom it says where you're going to sign and date it, and then what you're going to do is start a new form for the next packet. On the other side, if you flip the page over, it does say income packet submission. This is where you're going to check off those at the very top. They're all labeled. Did they have 10-B? Did they have 10-C? Did they have, and you're just double checking that they've got that paperwork in there and what they have supplied and what they haven't. Just leave it blank if they have not supplied it. So then lastly, we're gonna give you a sheet, and actually, do you mind passing this one out, the pre-screening? Oh, I'm sorry, and I also forgot something. On this front of the page, you're gonna put what packet number you've been assigned to that piece of paper. So you know in order. So you'll have 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 12.
Thank you.
This next form that Tracy is kindly passed out, is called the pre-screening. This is just telling you how they came in and when they came in. So the first one was at 8:01, and we assigned it a number, and they were a walk-in. The next one that came in was an email. The third one that came in was an email online. Fourth one, an email. Fifth one was a walk-in. And so those are the ones that people actually came up to the police department, and we stamped them, signed them in, gave them a receipt to the next. And then also we opened it for emails, and those are the ones that came in at those times real close. As you can see, it's even down to the seconds of when those things came in. We have to have all of that when we are audited by the state to know when those all came in. Oh, thank you. Yep, so right here, so this is number one packet. This is what it's gonna look like. And that's what you're gonna put your number one. That shows you what your number one is if you wanna make any comments on it. But also you're gonna put that number one right up here at the top when you fill out that form. So we try to make it as easy as possible to go through those. And again, we're right here to walk through all of those.
So the 5 of us are reviewing all 12 of them?
Yep, all 12 of them today. And again, once you start reviewing, like when you get to the third one, you're gonna see the stuff highlighted. You're gonna know because it's redundant, and you're gonna start to see. So like I said, it's not as daunting as you think it's gonna be, so. And then again, this is just for all of you. If all of you are each checking the same one, along with Tracy and I, majority of we should know, oh, this one doesn't live in the city, they're out. You know, that simple. Or this one, they only gave us 1 page of bank statements. You know, Tracy will go over how many they need, and wait, 1 page of bank statement, they don't qualify. So those are the things that you're gonna write down and just skip to the next one. But, and then the process next is we're only doing the first 12 because, as you know, initially right now we're gonna be giving $40,000, the max, up to those 12 homes. But again, we know that these first 12, as I've already told you, a couple of them are not gonna be qualified. We've not gone through the next process of the next group. It just takes a lot of time for us to do that. It's very detailed, the income verification that Tracy and I have to do with Excel spreadsheets and all that. So just in a week and a half, we've only gotten the first 12 done. So we would request that we're gonna need another meeting with you, you know, the 1st of November, or the first week in November. Again, if we could come back, maybe not have as many, but maybe 4 or 5 of them at that time, so. All set, or?
So
Right.
the goal is to fill out the pre-screening if there's any comments.
Yep, or you can, well, I think we were gonna use this form more.
For us to determine.
Oh, that's right, kind of at the end. Yeah, just this form. I think we just wanted you to see what time they came in and that type of stuff. Yeah,
At the end, when we go through the ranking, based on any comments, then we'll fill in there, does not meet, or
Okay.
because of income, or missing documentation, or not in the city, or whatever.
So we need 7 more.
yep,
Yes.
we've got them here for you.
Okay, yes. So I'll go through the application, sort of page, section by section, so that you kind of see again the sections where you can find the information to answer these questions, and the really the high level information that needs to be in the packet. Before I do that, if you want to go to this page, the income submission page, I'm just going to give you kind of a quick overview of what we need through that section there. So the first says income workbook. That's what Teresa and I do after this pre-screening. Then we'll go back to the workbook and fill it out for documentation for Mishta about process and income. The other thing I think that's important on that list that sometimes is a little wonky, so the checklist for the head of household, what they need to have is every adult has to have a checklist if you're over the age of 18, regardless of their income or not. And if they've checked a yes on that form, then there needs to be documentation. And we'll go to that form and I'll show you that form. If they're self-employed, they need to have filled out the self-employment worksheet and provide 2 years of taxes. If they're not self-employed, you don't need 2 years of taxes. The check stubs, if they choose to do check stubs as their verification of earnings, they have to have 2 months current and continuous, consecutive. For bank statements, which we'll talk about, they need to either have the average of a 6-month average, which that would just be on like a cover sheet, and it'll tell you the 6-month average, or they have to have the verification of resources by the bank, or they have to have 6 months of bank statements. So it's one of those 3 things. And then again, if there's additional earnings for 18 years and older, they need to have all that verification of resources and or verification of earnings for each adult that earns revenue over 18 years of age. And then the tax return is either the tax return or the request for the tax return that they've signed. So it's one or the other. And then the verification log, Teresa and I will go back through after all this, and then we enter all the stuff on the verification log. And if we have to talk to somebody because they're missing bank statements, for example, so they will go out of line for ranking, we will contact them, and we have to, on the spreadsheet, we have every contact, we have to log for MSHDA. And when we contacted them, if there was a response, and once there's a response, what happens next? So they will lose their place in ranking, but they can go back to the end of the line and then be added back in. That all makes sense. So if you go to the first page of the application, you'll see in order to get the address, obviously, that's...
Would you like me to pass these out?
Yeah, let's pass them out.
So we don't have any.
And then also, we didn't tell them, we received 67 applications.
67.
And it is, we're still open and accepting as of right now because, again, we don't know who's qualifying, who's not. Even though we didn't finish beyond, we didn't completely finish more than the 12, we've probably gone through and looked at about 20 or so applications at this point, and we do know that there are a number that aren't going to be able to stay in the ranking. So when you're looking at the 6 questions here on this sheet for your packet, then the city residence, obviously, address on the application is where you'll be able to...
Of the application?
Yes, yeah. Sorry. You'll be able to see the address to see if that is in the city.
What if it's redacted?
Yeah, it's redacted.
If it's redacted, it's because we verified that.
That it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see the next set of questions here at the top. How long have they lived at that address? The year the home was built. If it's a land contract, yes or no. If it's a no, you're out. If they have not lived in the home at least 1 year, or if the home is newer than 5 years, all the applications are immediately thrown out. So then on the bottom, not that this is final, but on the bottom, you'll see the household members and the income. So that can kind of give you that first glimpse of income, and are they going to, right at this point, are their applications eligible based on the household size, which you had the number of household members on there, and the income. So then you'll go further into the application, which we'll do. And you'll look at income again. But the other thing that you'll, as Teresa mentioned, the property taxes are on the back of the application, and has the home been insured. So when Teresa and I talk about this as the pre-screening, after the rankings, we'll then go and ask for that final, okay, yes, we need to see the policy number. We need to see that you have that policy. This is just the pre-screening. The family composition form, which is the next on the application. It is page 7. So this needs to correspond to the front part of the application where they list all the people that are in the household. So that's where you're going to see sometimes that they don't all coincide, but they need to, and then we need to figure out what's missing if something's missing. So the next sheet is, if you want to go, keep going. So this is the HUD waiver. It's 8 and 9, and they need to have filled out the HUD waiver so that we can check all this information, that we can share this information with MISTA and HUD. Yes.
Maybe we can break for a second.
Okay.
Whether they're all on the right page and everybody's okay so far.
Well, so this is just, I'm running through this. After I'm done, you're gonna look at that application yourselves, and you'll have time to do that. But I just wanna kinda, what you're really looking at on those pages. What's the important stuff that has to be filled out? Are there questions? I'm like buzzing this morning for some reason. I had lots of coffee. So, are there questions or anything that you want clarified right now? Nope, okay.
What did you say about this MISTA doesn't have to be filled out?
Nope, that's the next thing I was gonna talk about, is the declaration. That sheet, so by mistake, we missed the first part of the sheet. We only included the last page of the declaration. So it doesn't matter in terms of ranking for anybody at this juncture. That's not, they won't be thrown out. It won't change their ranking because we missed it for everybody. They will fill that out. We've called them in to fill that out, but it won't change anything. What they would be thrown out of the ranking for is other missing information. This was
Okay.
our error, our mistake.
Okay.
Okay. So the checklist is where it gets kind of that nitty-gritty messiness.
And that's page 11.
Yes. I don't have the pages on mine for some reason.
I got you.
But page 11. So on this checklist, anytime there's a yes, we need to have the documentation. If there's no documentation, then that is an issue. Every adult on that family composition form that they filled out earlier has to have one of these completed. So if an adult didn't fill it out or it wasn't filled out for them, it has to go in the reject pile. So for example, the first question under section A is income. So the income either will be a self-employment, earned from an employer, disability. So one of those is going to be checked. And if any of those are checked, they have to have the documentation. The documentation for self-employment is, so this is where you're going to have to do flipping. It's a yellow sheet, Excel spreadsheet.
We have big colored copies for that.
Oh, okay.
It's an Excel sheet.
It's an Excel sheet. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. They have to have 2 years of taxes. And yours will probably look bigger, but it'll look like all this, and it says self-employment year-to-date income and expenses. So that will be required for self-employed as verification of earnings.
Now, if it's missing in your packet, then obviously they are not self-employed, or if it's not filled out.
So then, if they have they're an employee, they'll either have to have the employer verify their income, which is the income verification sheet here. That's by Mishta Verifications, Form 49. So it's either that or 2 pay periods of check stubs that are current and consecutive. That's why I said this gets where it gets messy. Or the other thing that you'll see is disability, SSI, Social Security, then a benefit letter is acceptable. The other section that's messy is section B, page 13, nope, page 12. Under the assets, they have to mark whether they have savings, checking, and the bank information. So then they either have, if they have a yes, they either have to have 6 months that I talked about at the beginning, the 6 months average, 6 months of bank statements, or these are all ors, or the verification from the bank itself. And that is the verification of resources form that looks like this. So if they're missing, they don't have this form, and they have a checking or savings account, they don't have this form, and they don't have, very few of them have the average balance. For 6 months of bank statements, they don't have the proper documentation, so the application isn't going to meet the criteria.
Well, I better put that back together.
And again, we're going to have this stuff highlighted for you, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible. They either have to have taxes, or 2 years of taxes if they're self-employed, or they have to have completed this form that says the request for taxes to be released from the government. However, if you are on SSI and you do not have earnings, then the tax section is waived and they can still apply. But you can't have other assets and other earnings in addition to the SSI, or Social Security, sorry. I think this is why we need you guys to help us, because there are so many and or ifs that it just makes it more difficult for us. And I think I'll stop and not talk about what happens next so that we can get through some of this. Okay. Questions about all this? And you can ask us as we go along and as you see packets if you're wondering, because there are a lot of interesting things sometimes in the packets. The packets, unfortunately, are not in this sequential order, so you're gonna have to hunt because people made photocopies, stuck things behind things. We tried to do it as neatly and orderly as possible, but you're gonna see it's not quite that way.
No, do they live on the property? Is that something on here, or did you already?
Yes, it'll tell the number of, on the first page of the application, it says, how long have you lived at this address? That first general section. Teresa, did you show her?
Yep, I showed her, and actually I'm gonna highlight that one must have got missed.
So,
Mine's redacted.
here's the
Yeah, so
redacted.
then, oh, is that?
We should let you do that.
Well, it doesn't really, it's kind of redundant to redact the address anyway, since we have the deed in the back that has the address.
Right.
Was the deed not redacted?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, this one has the actual applicant's name on this one.
Are we supposed to put check marks or yes or no? Sorry. Just check marks or yes or no? 'Cause it says
Just
like,
however you'd like to do it.
check
Okay.
marks, just fine to make sure if it's empty, then
Okay.
just give us the reason why.
Okay.
Where did you find 5 years old?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It says, we live in
Oh.
this address. Plus 3 years. So they didn't really answer. Was that 13?
Is home at least 5
does that
years
say?
old?
What is it?
Is it 5 years old?
Yeah, you have to go here, see it says.
What's the verification that they live on the property?
Yeah. It's just, at this point, it's just that they have said the number of years that they lived there, which is, how long have they lived at this address? Which it would be that, yep.
So I have a question.
Yep.
On this income, because I see there's two, well, there's 3, but there's only 2, and you have this here, where did this income come from?
So as you go
Somewhere
through
else.
income verification,
Oh, there's more?
Yeah,
Of some
there is.
sort? Okay, okay, just wanted to.
so yeah,
find
that's how
it.
we started. We then added numbers. Because sometimes they've given us the revenue, but they haven't correctly listed it.
Okay, so this one would be over then, correct?
So how many people in the family?
3, so it's 57,600.
So I would put that as the 10% question mark.
Okay.
So anything 10%, Mishta gives the final verdict on that.
Need to put a 10% or
Yeah, I
question
would-
mark or?
Question mark 10%.
Okay.
Well, their taxes look just like our taxes on those papers from the city.
It's most likely, I mean, some people have very easy taxes, some people have booklets attached. For the most part, you should be able to see, but you don't have to go through the sheet, you just have to see that they're there,
That the sheet is here.
that the taxes are there, or that the form is there that they've filled out. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
So if they're missing things, I don't need to keep going, right?
But let's talk about what they're missing.
Well, they don't have property tax information, they don't have homeowners insurance information, they don't have bank statements.
Oh, yeah, no bank statements. Did they list that they had property insurance and that their taxes were paid? There are, and I wasn't aware of this, there is a poverty tax exemption for property taxes. So if they've listed that, then we know they're exempt from property taxes. And that would be acceptable. But if they haven't listed it or provided a memo that says they're exempt from property taxes, then correct. they would be, if they don't have that information, mark it, and then they would be tossed out of their income.
Yeah, I don't see anything. There's 3 banks here.
Yes, then they're done.
Is that the same for the insurance? So they listed that they have insurance, so they need to
At this
verify.
point.
I haven't
just
find them
need to
double
see
checking
if they
just
have
because
insurance.
I thought, well.
Later, we'll do a second screening of verification.
Okay.
To make sure they have that.
Okay, sounds good.
So,
So you're done? So then you pass it.
Oh, did you look to see if it?
I guess it doesn't matter, I can give her a new one.
Section right.
You want me to take it?
Yeah, here,
But then she doesn't, we don't have additional eyes on it.
well, not yet, I mean, everybody will get through all of them.
Where's this sheet?
Okay.
Your beginning.
to the left?
I turned mine over so on the back.
This is that one?
See, because it would say right
We'll
here.
leave that.
Do you want me to keep my sheet?
No, because you have a new sheet. You're missing that.
Okay.
I'm missing the back of the sheet that she has.
Unless it's
Well,
in
it
there
could be somewhere in there in another sheet.
Yeah, maybe it's
This
this.
like kind
Property taxes.
Okay, okay,
Keep looking, it looks, I'll keep it out.
Yeah, that's what I
It
did.
says.
okay.
Sorry. You done? Okay. So those two will go together and I will just
so it
put that
says
there, we'll get you on that.
Okay.
Property exemption, so there should be an exemption in there. So now you gotta look for,
Exemption.
yeah, in that packet. So look to see what it shows. It should say something.
And I'll take
Okay, so husband is exemption.
You find it?
Not yet, but I'm looking. Composition. This is the stuff she wants.
It seems like there's just so much that's redacted that would help this.
Is this it?
No, that's the.
Let's see here.
Home insurance.
So they provided information we don't need, we don't have to worry about it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Which sheet shows the, if they have the homeowner's insurance?
That's all you're checking to see if they've marked, do they have homeowners insurance? Most people then put the name, you don't have to verify the form, this is just pre-screen.
Yeah, which form is that?
Back of the front page, it shows that.
Yeah, mine's all jobbled up.
Oh, is it?
What number is that? It's here?
Yeah, it should be right here.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Thank you.
All right, I'm sorry, I have another question.
Thank you.
10F, it says declaration of section 214, signed date by all instructions. My 10F is a verification from issue. See, it's 10F, and if I go to 10F, it's different. So what is that?
That declaration of status.
Right. So that's, this is 10F.
That's the verification of resources.
So there's another 10F
Yeah,
that would
it's
have it there.
Nope, it's.
I guess I didn't
The
realize there was more
status,
this. I didn't realize
yeah,
there was
they-
more 10Fs,
They name them the same thing.
even though there were 10.
Correct.
That is really, that
Yep.
is really dumb.
So that's why we have the name there also.
All right.
I'm not,
I don't really think,
it's the,
because they're all
So
10Fs and they're all the
one-
same thing.
here's
They're
what
all
it
the
should
bank
look like.
verification.
Mutual, look at Liberty,
I
liberty.
feel like I'm missing like 20 pages in this
Yeah,
thing.
me too.
yep, that could be. Oh, this is, it should say declaration of status.
Okay.
And look
Teresa,
like
do you have a
this.
second?
It's so weird. So they named everything 10F with different things. Okay. All right, I'll keep looking.
Okay.
Thank,
Oh, here we go.
Quite yet,
Okay.
but
Hey, I got it.
these forms, the 10B through G or whatever, essentially is, like, this is 10C.
all that.
Is that what that's?
Oh,
No, it will say at the very top of the page.
income
Yes,
work.
see, it got redacted on there. That's hard to tell on that page. That is, the application, that's 10C right there, that one that you're looking at.
Okay.
That is 10C, so you can click, mark that one off.
What's 10C? The back of
That's,
it?
This-
yep,
this
the
whole page.
that whole application. And then this one, 14 says, section 14 is 10 to F.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna guess that it's signed.
Declaration.
Yeah, it's
redacted.
redacted, exactly,
Okay.
yep.
What does 10E look like?
This is 10D.
10D, yep, that's that one, the top. I'm just waiting to flip the page.
Signature.
Yeah. And that's the declaration or the H, what is it called?
Is yours made out? Is yours made out on the?
Well,
No, it ain't made out either.
but, you have to go to the next
10E.
page of it, because then they have it signed on the next page, on the back. So.
Oh, this one?
Together, yeah.
Oh,
So
oh,
signed
oh.
on that?
On the bottom, yes.
Okay.
I wish just the name was redacted so we could know that it was like signed.
It's this
10E.
one, it's the HUD,
The HUD release.
HUD release, yeah.
So what you'll probably see is on the other page, there's a name and.
I'm not even seeing it. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Mortgage engineer.
Yeah, and then it's,
Yeah.
you're right, I don't see that one. Maybe this.
Is that workbook one, is that like a bunch of papers?
Which one?
The workbook,
Release.
is that like a whole bunch of papers?
Yeah, I don't.
I think that's everything. I don't know.
What do you?
Oh, it shows the form on the bottom.
The workbook is what we have to do.
So we just.
So you don't, yeah.
Something that's needed, or?
Yep, that would be something that
The
they need.
first one and the last one is what Teresa and I have to do.
And they don't need a benefits letter if they're not on.
Application,
Correct.
or is that at the beginning?
That's that first, this one, that's the application.
That's what I got. right?
Yeah, yep.
And then it has to be signed.
Is there another spot that shows their annual income?
I think it's.
I can try to add how there's two people here. So I would assume that's monthly.
I guess they'll know.
I know how.
I should honestly. recording.
I'm looking for a head of household. Found it.
Yes.
Yeah, this one was missing like half the documents. It makes it harder to review one that's missing half of them.
Yep. That's why it's so confusing.
We don't sign anything on this one, do we?
And
Just this one. Nope.
Okay.
That's Teresa and I.
Checklist. Is it this one?
I have another one. I didn't see it.
check them.
Yeah, they didn't list this over and over. If you don't reside in the city, you can't apply.
Okay?
Today again? Oh, this one's thick. Is the home at least 5 years old? It's almost 150 years old.
Do you have another one, or is that the last one?
Nope, we have another.
Yeah, there's over here.
Thicker. I think that one's thicker.
Well, if it's thick, it's usually a good thing. That means
Yes.
they probably had everything in
Yes.
there.
Usually when we see the little ones, we're like, oh yeah, that's not.
Hmm?
Has it been all yours?
No.
What are you looking for? Homeowners insurance?
Authorization for a release.
Sign in the back.
No, nothing on this side. This side.
Who knows if it's right or not, Trace, but it's done.
Okay. Bank statements. You go so fast, girl.
Oh, because we know what we're looking at.
This is so,
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah, it would have been helpful to get some of those. Tracy, can I have another one?
Income tax verification.
So if they're missing signatures and stuff, just keep going, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
The property taxes and the, or did they not?
I didn't even go that far because they were already missing stuff. So you still want me to go through it all?
Yeah. What else are they missing?
Well, I stopped right here because I don't have this.
Oh, they don't have the family composition?
No.
Yeah, nope, you can stop.
The Huntington Bank. Oh. Right here you signed, Kit?
Fill out the form and dig it.
Oh, wait till you get to this. I can't even read this. Ridiculous.
The 22nd.
21st.
Do we keep this?
Yeah.
Ready for another?
Yes, please.
This is a
Oh, I get a little win.
Thing, right?
Okay.
They don't have half their forms, you know?
Oh, let's see here.
We're not gonna have everybody go through every packet. We have 2 responses that are the same, then we're gonna take that as they're completed,
Oh, okay.
just because it's a lot.
More than one person reviewing each packet, but as soon as you find 2, then you're
Correct. Yes. Teresa and I reviewed, and as soon as we have two that have the same response, then we have.
Okay.
Can you show me which one is 10C?
10Z.
Actual application?
Oh, that's this.
Well, it says 10B.
Wow, look how much they pay in taxes on their houses.
Correct.
That's more than I pay.
There you go, Tracy. Their declaration page is not signed.
Do not buy. 240.
Tracy,
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if the got land contract is.
this is the link.
All right, so I don't. It's not a yes, okay. So more than
Like
one.
searching for a form that doesn't exist, I think.
Thank you.
So how long have they lived there?
If they're tax exempt, do they need something, another document showing?
No, if they're tax exempt, yeah, sometimes they've started to sign, they gave us more stuff, but no, if they're tax exempt, then doesn't matter if they sign. Okay, we're getting there.
God, come on. I just circled that and put not complete on the back just so it's easier for her.
Okay, yep, thank you.
Indeed.
Okay, I don't know what to do with this because all of their income and everything is blacked out.
So you'll go to the section where it has income verifications. What do they, let's go check this, see what they say on the checklist for income. one person that's 18. So the checklist says, what's their earnings? The yes box.
Jesus, I don't even know which one yes it is.
I know. Disability.
That's it.
So she should have a social security letter for her income.
Oh. How am I can't move forward on that if I don't know what this is.
Well, we can through the other forms. So then, where's the family composition? So family composition. So that must have been her benefit. So this person, 81?
Yes.
I'm looking at it backwards. Oh, that's probably the benefit. So the 51-year-old has to have a checklist and some type of earning statement. So if she doesn't have a checklist for that other person, then it's a null and void. So there has to be 2 checklists in there.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Oh, there's the second checklist.
It's an authorization.
But there's no benefit statement for.
Is that
No.
what they're saying? It's a
10
retirement?
E. I'm fine, 10
I
E.
think I know which one this is.
Oh, there's him.
10 D.
So there's only one benefit?
There's 2.
There is 2. Okay, so do those income match what they're saying on the checklist?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Okay, then
That's it.
you can move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that kind of doesn't make sense. Like, I don't want to be checking stuff when I can't verify, like, if they fill this out correctly, because
Well,
what if that is different? Okay, I'll just,
because there's another level of income verification
okay,
that we have to do after this.
okay.
For you.
Tracy, I have a question. I can't find anything regarding property taxes, that
It
they're
seems
exempt or
ridiculous to sign off on things that we
taxes, and
can't
normally
see.
it would say on here.
Did they say that they paid property taxes
It doesn't say, that's the thing.
on their form?
Yeah.
They didn't.
I would have seen.
So it should be page 2 of the application.
I don't have that.
What is that?
Owner's insurance. They sent it, gave it to us.
Here.
Let me see.
I mean, the second that I have, like, I haven't had a 10E, I haven't seen 10C or 10D. Anything.
Well, there's that.
Well, she said it's the overall document, but this is, it says 10B. so
Right, that's what I was going off.
Is it,
All right.
is this
Now
income
what is-
workbook 10B here, or is this the application?
Thank you. Yeah.
So, over Mr. Forms, I should
If they don't,
Mr. Forms.
if they don't have this signed,
That's okay.
okay.
As long as they filled that out, which they did.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll do that.
Yeah, what about this 10E? Not even seeing that form.
The authorization for release,
Yeah.
that is the HUD. Let me show you what it looks
Is
like.
that this one?
Yes. Wait. Yes, that's the HUD release.
So I can track her, because I can do that, find my phone.
This is what goes through all the things with the release.
It's just weird they don't, like, if they want to call it a form name, but then there's nowhere on it that says that, you know what I mean?
That lies.
Tracy, I'll give you this one.
Except for, I couldn't find home insurance in here. Can you, see? Otherwise,
Right here, auto owners insurance.
oh, okay, I thought that was for cars. Duh.
It's all right.
I'm done with this one, Tracy.
Duh.
We'll check into any other stuff. So I'm just gonna leave it.
We have to write it.
I don't know if you filled this out. You've done this one. What do we have that hasn't
Number 3,
So for tax exempt,
Number
seven,
7,
tax
9, 10, 11,
return.
12.
Oh, here's 10.
I have 12.
Okay.
I'm finished.
Okay.
Well,
How many does 8 have? 2. 8's had 2.
Yep.
Hang on, I think I can get you another one.
take your time.
Only one.
Okay, but she just did that.
Right. But we need 3, 7, 9, 10, 11,
I'm gonna give
12.
her, I'm gonna give her 3, because that's finalist.
Okay.
There's 1 through 3. Okay, who needs a packet up?
Thank you. Oh,
Only if you want to give me one.
Oh, yeah, I do.
where did I put my checklist?
It's 7.
Take this one right here. You gotta get one.
Oh, you gotta get a new one for each one. Thank you, Mary, you're so good to me.
A novel. Okay, everybody has a packet?
They're tax exempt, they probably won't have a request for transcript.
Yes, if their tax, because they get social security, so they don't have to do taxes, then they won't have the request and they
Okay.
won't have tax.
Okay.
So that's acceptable.
Income. Kinda sad.
There's no staple.
There.
I think we probably talk about the others. Where's that one? One is there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
like how it's in order. So
I know,
it's great.
sometimes you're like, wow.
This is the easiest one.
Property taxes.
He's not in the city limits.
Yeah, you're done.
Okay. This one's not, the one that's not.
Okay, we just needed a second set of eyes that said that. We did that.
Sounds good.
Good job,
I'll
Casey.
put no on.
Correct.
I want that one.
That was so easy.
Nice job.
Number 9 got it.
All right.
Tennessee.
Just confirming, you guys, the income packet submission, this one, you guys are going into more detail on this, right? Because we might not necessarily understand which
Correct.
documents you need. And
Right, so we'll talk about that next piece that we're working on, once we get through this. If they pass this, then they go on to that next section.
it's kind of a bummer they need so much information for this.
Can you check this one for, tax return?
What is it you look for?
Tax return.
Taxes.
On the place.
They need two, but they only have one. Should you just put one tax return or don't even?
Are they self-employed?
I'm gonna cut my
They need to
grass
have
today.
two.
Are you done with that?
I'm sorry.
Tax return.
Tax return.
Okay. So they get social security, and they've given us their form.
Yep, I got that.
So
And they don't have tax
they don't
return.
have to have a tax return.
Okay.
No, they're,
None of that was applied.
no, they're okay with us.
Am I on?
Looking for your next one?
Property taxes. And
Quitclaim deed. Is it?
They own it, they have the deed to the house.
So we have
Gotcha.
2, 3.
Right.
I've never heard of the quit.
Okay, we're down to the very end.
Like, when I'm done with this, you want me to just sign with?
Yes.
This? Okay. Oh, you want me to?
Yeah.
I just wanna say, this person really needs it.
You do?
This isn't a lot of money,
Oh.
right? I can't even imagine. give them, and the little darling, whoever it is,
See, that's why it's supposed to be redacted.
he or she wants a walk-in tub. Get on that one.
I can't talk to you about that.
Oh my God, that'd be so nice. Poor souls.
I know sometimes we look at the form and we go, oh,
I know.
I missed that form.
I think that would people put in loan applications in their
These
bank
are extras.
and say, oh my God. poor soul.
Okay, so then had 2 sets of eyes.
Didn't I put this?
Alright, yes. Okay.
Oh, this is 3.
I don't think so.
Come on.
Done?
Yeah. No, God.
Is that all of them?
For today. Yes, but not all of them.
15 minutes late.
Well, once you get doing them, it goes better. And then you guys explain like, the numbers on the top and things go better. You know, I took in an application once and it won't
It's confusing because this is not the
They
right
at a theater,
to the, you know what I mean?
the Vogue Theater. They got minimum wage,
I feel like this tells me that, okay, sure.
and
But
I got such a giggle out of it.
there's a full tax
I
return in
said,
here.
well, they didn't bring us any, so I don't think it has any value, that popcorn. He's eating it all.
For lunch, breakfast, dinner.
Yeah, popcorn, popcorn, and popcorn.
Tracy. You can have this one.
That was the first one. It was done twice.
Okay, all right, so hang on.
Okay.
Twice.
Wonderful. That's everything. Everybody's been, yep, everybody's been, they've all, the packets been done.
Okay, so the packets that we had here are all reviewed at least twice, in addition to Teresa and I. So what will happen next is we will compile that information that your comments, and see if it's different from our comments, and if it is, then we need to go back and review. If they all are the same, then we'll move forward on the ranking. And then we'll start with the first person and do the deep dive into the income verification. And that means there's a spreadsheet from MISTA that takes their earnings, their taxes, their assets, their resources, and there's a formula that they have that then calculates whether or not they're eligible. Like this is the final eligibility of income. Once that level is passed, and if it's within 10%, plus or minus, we have to send it to MISTA, the whole entire packet, and they have the final send-off.
Wow.
So once that happens, then Teresa and I, and/or I, will have an interview with the candidate to make sure that they understand about the lien process versus the grant process. Would they accept the lien? There are additional forms that they need to have. It's about asbestos, fair housing, and then they need to formally sign some additional paperwork. And then we, based on the ranking again, we would send out inspectors to look at, this is the first inspection of the homes. And from that inspection checklist, then we'll do the bids for contractors. And then we handle the bids for the contractors, but the contract is between the resident and the homeowner. And that's part of that interview process. We go through and explain all that stuff. Once we get through that, and we may be doing some of those at the same time. So, you know, we know that 1 and 3 qualified, 2 didn't. We're gonna move forward on 1 and 2 because we know we have $450,000. So as we continue through the rankings, we'll continue to go through the applications and the income verification until all the money is committed. So we're currently still accepting applications because we don't know where that falls, because you can see how some of the applications aren't going to meet the requirements or they're missing things. So
If someone submits one that is incomplete, you guys let them know that it's incomplete?
Yes.
And then can they resubmit?
yes, so then we have to, because they've submitted, we have a workbook that we have to list what it is that they're missing, when we've contacted them, if they've contacted us back, what the result and date and time, everything for MSHDA, but they go back, if they get that information, or if they choose not to, then they just fall off. But if they do, they go back to the bottom of the current ranking. Other questions for us? So we will have packets at your next meeting, not probably this many, because we're, in theory, as Teresa had said, it's up to $40,000 per home. If you calculate that, it's like 11 point some houses. So we hope to have at least 12 in the rankings that we can pursue on the next level of income verification.
Great.
Other questions for us? Teresa, did I miss anything?
Good, good.
Okay.
You made a good effort because you had all them ones between 8 and what, 8:06?
Yeah, in the first
Half
half hour, we had,
Like 45 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in just a half hour.
Wow.
All right.
That's nice.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I double that.
Thank you for your time.